If you want a light, crisp, easy drinking beer, but it's still rammed full of Belgian character, then a Belgian Single might be the beer for you. So stick around, because today that's exactly what we're brewing. What's up guys, it's Aka from Metal Homebrew. Welcome back to another Grain to Glass video and the first video of 2026. Happy New Year to you all. Today we are brewing a Belgian Single. I'm not going to go massively into the history on this because channels like the Craft Beer channel do a far better job than me and I'll explain it in full. But in short, a Belgian Single is what the actual monks would drink themselves. So the monks would brew doubles, triples, quadruples. To keep the monasteries alive, they would then sell that and all the profits would go back into either the monastery or charitable causes. But while the monks were fasting, they needed something to drink, and the Single is what they would drink. So essentially, imagine a triple, but lower in colour, much lower in ABV, so they're normally between about 4.8% and 5.5%. Dry, crisp, really easy drinking, but still absolutely rammed full of that Belgian character. For me, the biggest benefit of these beers is they don't need anywhere near as much conditioning time. So like my quad, I'll leave for 6 months to a year, the triple at least 3 or 4 months. There's a long wait time before you can actually even drink those beers. So they're a great sort of entry point into the world of Belgian beers without too much difficulty and too much wait time. I'm aiming for around 5.5% on this one. So it should be a fairly easy drinking light beer, but with enough of a kick to keep you happy basically. But it's a brilliant style of beer. It's one I would highly recommend brewing. So let's get into it. The water then. So I previously always used to recommend Tesco Ashbeck water. Unfortunately, that has been discontinued. Tesco have another water in its place, which looks to have the same mineral content. However, I've read a lot of reviews and people are saying it tastes chlorine and it tastes like tap water. That sounds shit, so I'm not going to use it. So I've bitten the bullet and tried Spotless water. For those of you who don't know, it's basically a water dispenser that's designed for like window cleaners, people like that, that is reverse osmosis water, so it's completely devoid of all dissolved minerals, i.e. it's a blank slate. It's way cheaper than mineral water. The only downside for me is I've got to travel to get it, but I think I paid £2.50 odd for like 50 litres. So that's what I've started with. So I've got base mineral content of absolute 0. The profile I'm going for is actually a Belgian light beer profile suggested by the apartment brewer, which I will link up there. I didn't quite get exactly there, but I got pretty close. And if you look at it, it's a fairly balanced water profile. So the chloride and the sulfate, sorry, are pretty balanced. There's no carbonate in there, so it's very soft water. And then it's just a bit of calcium, sodium and magnesium. Right, on to the recipe itself then. These are fairly simple beers, that there's not a great deal to them. So I've gone 83% Pilsner malt. I've then gone 4% aromatic malt just to give it a bit more flavour and a bit more Belgian character. And then finally, this will be added in the boil, so it's not actually part of the mash, but I've just gone with 12.8% of good old table sugar. Traditionally, the Belgian brewers would use candy syrup and things like that, but in all honesty, in a Belgian Single like this, you're not going to notice any difference with just using plain old table sugar. If you want to be really rigid about it being sort of traditional, get some candy syrup or the candy rocks, but I've done this with sugar several times and it works beautifully. The plan is to mash at 64 degrees Celsius. That should give us a slightly drier beer, which is what we want in this Belgian character. I'm not doing a step mash, nothing fancy, literally just single infusion, 64 degrees Celsius mash with a 75 degrees Celsius mash out. Once the mash is complete, we'll move to my usual sparge, so jug and water over the top, run it through, get all of the last remaining sugars out, and then start heating up to the boil. And now we're at a nice rolling boil, as you can see. We can talk about the hopping. This is not a hoppy beer. It's not meant to be a hoppy beer, and so the hops are kept fairly low. The main addition here is a 17-gram hop addition at the very start of the boil, so 60 minutes. I'm using Hallertau Mittelfrüh. I'm aiming for 24 IBUs out of that because I want a little bit of bitterness in here just to balance it all out. The only other hop addition will be at the 15-minute mark, which is a small 4 IBU addition of Hallertau Mittelfrüh, again, just for a little bit of that earthy, spicy, noble character flavour in there, but we don't really want too much of that. The only other things I'm adding in the boil outside of the sugar are some Whirlfloc to clear it all out and some yeast nutrient. As I said earlier, we're adding sugar into the boil. What that will do is it will boost the ABV and also help dry the beer out and will leave very little flavour behind but it adds to that Belgian character, the dryness and the slightly boosted ABV. We're adding this in at about the 10-minute mark of the boil. There's several ways you can do this, but what you want to avoid is just tipping all of your sugar into the boil kettle, because it will just sink to the bottom and probably burn on your elements. So if you've got a hop spider, you can mix it in there. What I did was took a good chunk of my boil out into a bowl, which you can see me doing here, and just mixed all of the sugar in there so that it was fully dissolved before I then tipped it back in and then let the boil finish. Once the boil's finished, I've chilled it all down and banged it in the fermenter. That leads us nicely onto the fermentation. So with Belgian beers, the yeast is one of the main contributors to the flavour. All of that nice sort of clove, dark fruit, spice, Belgian character predominantly comes from the yeast. So you really need to look after your yeast on these beers. I've gone for one of my favourite dry Belgian yeasts, L'Allemand Abbé. I've used it several times and it always works brilliantly. There's lots of other dry options out there and liquid yeast options. Just have a look online, there's loads. The Apartment Brewer covers them in his Belgian videos very well, so I'm not going to reiterate that, but get yourself a decent Belgian yeast and you won't go too far wrong. So my plan with this beer is to pitch it at 20 degrees C and then let it sit for 24 to 48 hours just to get the fermentation going. And then what I want to do is have a controlled ramp up to 24 degrees C. So every day after that, I'm going to raise it by 1 degree C until I get to 24, and then I'm going to let it sit there. What that will do is, as it gets to the higher temperatures, it will push the yeast a little bit harder and they'll start releasing more and more of those sort of Belgian-y characters. But what I don't want to do is let them get there too fast or let them go over that point, because then they'll start releasing some harsher sort of fusel alcohol, nastier flavours, which I don't want. The other way you could do this is pitch your yeast around 20 and let the yeast free rise. So let the yeast do it once up to about 24, 25 and then cap it there. But personally, I wouldn't go much higher than 24 or 25. Then what we'll do is we'll let it ferment out at 24, just leave it at that temperature. Once I'm satisfied it's fully done, we'll cold crash it, package it, and we'll get it on tap. Right, fermentation update then. We're out in my outhouse, there's the fermentation chamber, and things have not gone to plan, unfortunately. The weather decided that on the day I pitched my yeast to go into a massive cold snap, unseasonably cold even for this time of year. It's been consistently sub-zero since I pitched the yeast. Normally that's never been an issue, but unfortunately, because the outhouse is uninsulated and I've not long moved this fermentation chamber out here, it's struggled a little bit with the cold weather. So I pitched at 20, and obviously with the lag for the yeast starting, it dropped down to about 17, 18, and I was struggling to hold it there. That's fine, it's not an issue, but it's not the temperature I wanted. Fermentation did kick off later that night. I wrapped the fermenter up and let it do its thing, and it was sat comfortably at about 20 degrees once the fermentation really kicked in, and I managed to ramp up to 22. So I got about 24 hours at 21 degrees C and maybe half a day at sort of 22 degrees C. And as of, what are we on now, Monday, so we're on about day 3, day 4. We're currently sitting at a gravity of about 1.008. That's a little bit higher than I was expecting. Brewfather estimated 1.001. I think that's bollocks. I don't think it's going to go that low. So I think we are sort of nearing final gravity, and the highest temperature we achieved was 22. Not the end of the world, that will still ferment beautifully. That yeast is designed to work within that temperature range. I just didn't quite get the high temperature I wanted. But anyway, we're almost there. So we'll come back when it's fully fermented out and we've got it packaging. But as I say, it is fucking freezing in here. So we know for next time, we'll make another plan. Right, the final product then. It came out 5.4%, so despite the issues with the fermentation, it actually went really well. So I didn't hit my temperature ramp up to 24 degrees C because of the weather. So I think the max temp I got was about 21, maybe 22 at a push. However, it still fermented away in good time and it fermented away beautifully. There's been no actual issues with it. It looks good. It's got nice tight white head, plenty of carbonation in it as you'd expect from a Belgian. The head doesn't last forever, but it still sticks around, leaves some nice lacing. And it just looks the part. Could do with a little bit more clarity, but it's actually only been in keg about a month now. So for a Belgian to be drinking in a month is pretty good in my opinion. Like I said before, my triples and my quad usually takes 6 months plus. The triple maybe 3 or 4, but the quad 6 months plus to get drinking nicely. So this is quick for a Belgian. Smells as you'd expect, so it's not overpowering. It's got very slight, grainy, sort of malty scent, but not a lot of malt whatsoever. It's mainly the yeast that's presented in the smell. It's just that typical Belgian character, a bit of sort of clove spiciness, a bit of foam banana esteriness that you'd expect. Mouthfeels come out pretty good. So I find with that L'Allemand Abbé yeast, if you drink it too early, it feels really thin and watery, and you're sort of drinking it 3 weeks in thinking, "Ooh, have I done a good job here?" But give it a month and it comes out beautiful. So all that wateriness is gone. It's still nice and dry, which is what I wanted. It's meant to be drinkable. This is not meant to be a big full-bodied quad. So it's real good level of carbonation, which is helping it feel crisp and dry as well. So I'm really happy with that as a sort of mouthfeel. And the flavour, again, just full of Belgian character, but not overpowering, which is what I wanted for this beer. It's meant to be nice and drinkable and fairly light to a certain extent. So even though it's 5.4%, it's not too much, especially with the crisp, dry sort of finish. It makes it really drinkable. The best way I could sort of describe it is like a nice, crisp lager on a hot day, but with a bunch of Belgian yeast character in there instead. So it'd be a great entry beer for somebody to get into Belgian beers, really, because none of it's overpowering. It's not too Belgian-y, if that makes sense, and it's just generally a pleasant beer to drink. So I'm really happy with that. But as always, if you enjoyed that, please give the video a like and do consider subscribing, and feel free to check out my back catalogue of other videos. Cheers.